Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Bebe Kumi, and this is a special episode. I'm sitting with three of wonderful bartenders of the Caribbean, and these guys, I met these guys actually a little backstory. I met these guys at one competition, flavor competition in 2000, I think 19, and these guys taught me so much. And following these guys on Instagram was amazing. But I'm sitting with wonderful guys. Boys, how's it going? Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for being here. Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, boys. So I'm sitting right next to me. I'm sitting with Neil. Right in front of him, Clint. And then Philip Casanova.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The mixologist, not the infamous lover of women. At least that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Cool. So, boys, I'm going to start with Neil.
Yeah.
Man, just tell us a little about yourself, and then we go from there.
So, as my boy here reiterated, my name is Neil Ramdan, all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. I started bartending as just a hobby, man.
Yeah.
Getting my way through UE, getting that cash to assist with school expenses, books, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I feel like the industry called me because I studied accounting by profession. Yeah. I'm an accounting student, and throughout my era in university, I started bartending, meeting friends. Friends became family, started competing, and that's where it really took off for me, honestly, because in the Caribbean, we just see bartending as a side job.
Yeah, for sure.
But eventually I realized it could be something much more. It could actually be a career where it is a respected craft. Mm-hmm. And I believe we as a team in the Caribbean, we elevated the craft of mixology within the Caribbean. And now it's a respected field that we can look up to and be proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there we go with brother Clint.
Clinton, that's my name. I'm Clinton Ramdan. Well, Neil is my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been bartending for the past decade, and I'm also a chef. So I have a lot of history when it comes to this profession. You know, I studied culinary, I studied food and beverage. I also cook more than I bartend sometimes, so I can do both professionally. You know, I am all hospitality. I always tell people I am hospitality.
Yeah.
I love every aspect of this industry, from service to dishwashing to bartending to cooking to prepping.
And
Yeah.
just to add, Clinton and myself, we have a company registered in Trinidad and Tobago, as you can notice from his hat, Verve Creations.
Big up Verve Creations, man.
Yeah, man. So we execute bar services.
Yeah.
Both Clinton and myself have won multiple competitions in Trinidad and Tobago, both locally and internationally. Mary Brazad was my first Clinton, also competed at the Taste in Miami.
Yeah.
And what really set the path for us within the industry is my global title with the House of Angostura. Yeah, so big up to Angostura for that, man.
And just to add on that, I also tell bartenders, and not just bartenders, everybody in whatever field, exposure is what opens the mind, right?
Exactly.
And this is what we are grateful for. You know, we thank Charter, we thank Fabian, Ochenta, you. We learn from every single person that we meet along this journey of bartending, mixology, culinary. It opens the mind, and in that now we can now share to our people in Trinidad. You know, so they can look forward to this, you know, and really appreciate you, bro.
No, thank you, man. And the podcast itself is something for people to learn something from and get to know about the industry itself, you know. But before we get into that, I want to, the man himself also, Philip Casanova. Introduce yourself, my man.
So, hey, what's up, guys? As Francesco said, I'm Philip Casanova. I'm Vincentian by birth, but I represent the beautiful island of Barbados. I've been living in Barbados for the last 28 years. So Barbados has given me the title of a culinary ambassador. So what that means is that I travel, you know, all over the world representing Barbados through mixology or bartending. So, you know, I get to do competitions, seminars, and quite interestingly enough, that's how we met. Well, actually, that's how all of us met. You know? So before I knew who Neil, met Neil in person, I followed him on Instagram, you know, as the Angostura ambassador. Quite interestingly enough, I was the ambassador for Barbados, the local ambassador. Well, Neil became the global ambassador, right, worldwide. So through that Angostura connection, you know, we're here. And then, you know, we met. So we become brothers. So it's like wherever you go in the world, you know, bartenders tend to click. I usually tell people you got to be a crazy individual to be a bartender. You know what I mean? And my career started simple because I studied interior design.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm certified in interior design. You know what I mean? I signed up for the police force at one point. And I think there's an adult broadcast. I used to be a stripper at one point.
Explain the swanky kids.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, and I think because of all those different backgrounds, it fell into one. But I think what made me, you know, get into bartending is that I think I just had the personality for it. Before I had any knowledge of how to even create a drink, it was the personality that show for me.
Yeah, how do you
right?
interact?
Yeah, being able to interact with people, making people laugh, being able to be a clown, and you know what I mean. Because as I tell people, like bartending, we don't just do one job, bro. We are, at one point, we are doctors, psychologists. You know, we got to talk somebody from jumping off a roof. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're heartbroken, bro, but just have this drink and relax, please. You know? And then we're even meteorologists because, you know, people walk into the bar. Oh, is it going to rain today? Wait, hold on, let me check. You know, so.
And you get a shot for that.
Yeah. So we you know, we are, you know, we have different diverse jobs each day. And what I love and enjoy about bartending is that no 2 days are the same, bro. It's like a movie. Like you never know how the script is gonna go, bro. It's like it's all like, and I love it. That's what I love about it. And I have gone to the point now where I get to do things like this. You know what I mean? As I said, shout outs to Chatter for bringing us here again for flavors. Yeah, you know, helping us to see the Caribbean. And what is good too is because as much as we, you know, we all Caribbean, every island has a unique style, unique culture, unique flair. So what I love is that when I can travel and get components from each of those and put to my style, you know what I mean? I Versi Wild.
That's fucking cool, guys.
Yeah, man.
Going to you guys from Trinidad is how, like, let's say, how long ago did you guys start bartending in a way?
For me, roughly about 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
Like, let's say from 14 years till now, how much did I would say, Horeca itself, food and beverage, change from that time till now?
It has grown a lot from, in terms of methods, techniques. Even you will find a lot more bartenders doing craft stuff, like stuff that you do. But from entering into the industry, the only craft cocktails that we would have seen was in competing. Somebody would have made an orgeat or a clarified pineapple juice or something like that. I'm just saying. But now you can actually see those things in
Being replicated at
In
a
bars.
typical bar that you would. Yeah.
And it has grown a lot through stimulation from Instagram and Facebook. Social media and all.
Yeah.
So doing things like this gives everyone ideas to improve oneself.
Okay, you also forget it from like the molecular mixology point of view now, where you know what I mean, it's not just like guys are taking food now, so there's the kitchen and the bar merges now, where you deconstructing deconstructing meals. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Putting them in the liquid, and you know what I mean, you got to use some meats, you know, fruits and vegetables now, like that before in cocktails that people would not have done before. So it's a whole elevation, and I look to see like in the next 5 years where it go. Although we know cocktail trends change every year, you know, the classics come back, you know, some classics come back, new trends come up. So like, you know, from as I said, like bubble teas, the construction of food, the use of flowers. It's just magical, bro. It's
You never stop learning, especially with bartending and even food. It's just
There's a cycle as well, as Philip rightly said. Old trends sometimes starts
Cycle,
back
yeah.
to recycle and vice versa.
Yeah.
And bartenders now, they're like liquid chefs, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you're a liquid chef, so you understand.
I actually
Pretty much
to the
everything.
point, like people ask me, you mixologist, I said, nah, I'm a liquid artist. What I do is art, using liquid. Bro.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. Art.
No, man. Before we keep on going, we had to do a shot, guys. I know you guys didn't want to.
Well, I've
Hey,
never
don't,
seen,
not that we didn't want to. It was a rough night, bro.
I've never seen a time to be consumed in a bottle. There is no time frame.
Who can explain to me this tambo?
So, Tambu, it's actually one of the latest product on the House of Angostura range. It's their first venture into the spice rum category. Launched in, I believe, or in 2022, probably early 2021, sometime during the pandemic. Angostura decided to jump into that realm of spice
sir.
rums. On the nose, it's really nice, a lot of nutty notes. So,
Just to add, the word tambous came from the French,
Yeah,
meaning drum, and which is synonymous with African culture
exactly.
and the drums. So this spirit just basically pays homage or homage to the African culture, but the Indo community, we also use a lot of drums as well. So it's basically culture in a bottle.
and also
understand?
they dropped it around carnival time. That's the reason for the
Yeah.
for all the
Colourful-
colors and feathers, which kind of
Yeah.
demonstrates or illustrates our carnival
Culture
in
and
Trinidad and
culture.
Tobago.
Like, you know, when you think feathers and you think carnival, you
Yeah.
think Trinidad.
So
you
we
know,
didn't
yeah.
have carnival for the past years as a result of the pandemic. So they tried to bring out that energy that we have.
Some music in
back
the beginning.
Trinidad.
Boys, cheers.
Salud.
Cheers, bro.
Salud. Prost.
It's very spicy.
Yeah,
right?
very spicy, but I like it.
Yeah. A lot of nutty notes in there. Some hazelnut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some cola.
That's it, music.
Yeah.
You also taste like sorrel too, right?
I get cinnamon.
Yeah.
I get like a hint of clove. It's really nice. And it's not, if it's wanted, the warmth is a nice smooth warmth. It isn't like a,
It's not overwhelming.
yeah, it isn't like a dragon, like, you know what I mean? It's nice and yeah, I love it. It's nice.
So we do some really nice. It's very versatile as well. Despite having it as a shot, works really nice in cocktails. So we actually do like a spiced mojito with it. Yeah,
Nah, that's what,
A spicy ginger. Is a spicy ginger.
spicy
mojito.
ginger mojito. Yeah.
Getting even more spicier than
Even
it
more No, we love spice in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Well, you know that. We eat a lot of
Everybody does. Like,
flavor, bro.
yeah, exactly.
But when we say spice, it doesn't mean like
Caliente, hot.
yeah, just the aromatics. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from being like the bartenders that you guys are today, I want to go around the first competition you did. If you won or lost, just tell me a little about it. We're gonna start with Neil, and then we all went through that. But,
This was a long time
God,
back. I mean,
Jesus.
I remember doing those
After
cocktails.
after a shot of rum, bro. How you remember this though?
I mean, that's foundation, man. Foundation, like, sometimes I look back at those cocktail recipes and be like,
What were you thinking? Though?
why the fuck did I do that? Yeah.
The ingredients like what?
No time at all.
A bunch of juice.
as a bartender now coming out, you want to add everything. I like watermelons, I like bananas, I like whatever you like, you want to put,
You put it in this
there,
fucking
man.
drink, though.
So, I remember, our local culinary school, Trinidad and Tobago Hospitality Institute, which is no longer in operation, but they that's where I started competing first, and that's where we met the guys and the team at Charter in Miami through this competition, Taste of Miami, or Taste of the Caribbean, and despite I wasn't a student of TTHTI, I was still able to participate, given that I was in the industry and advocate for hospitality, right? And my first time doing it, I remember doing like a beetroot cocktail. Right, a beetroot. And I mean, I just was a big team of guys working under a bar company, and it was more fun for us. So
Yeah.
there's like a day to go out, have fun,
Exactly.
have drinks, chill out with the guys. So it's like family. So it wasn't really a competition for us at that time, right? And that year I actually got a silver medal. I was like, whoa! First time I was like, that kind of boosts my confidence.
Fresh out the blocks.
Next, this was all the way back in, I believe, like 2013.
Okay.
Right. 2014, I competed again. This time I didn't medal. It's like, I medal last year. I was expecting a gold. What's happening? So I started reevaluating myself. Then 2014, I entered another competition, the Marie Brizard brand. So it's a French liqueur. I was fortunate enough, after going back to the drawing board, realize where I went wrong and how I could improve. And I was fortunate to capture the local title. So I was selected to represent Trinidad in France. So this was like 2 years after jumping into the behind the bar, basically, right?
No, he's a flying star.
So at that time, no, I was kind of how should I say, a bit scared going up against bartenders. This competition had like 31 competitors around the world, like France, London, you name it, bro. Australia, Asia. Yeah. So me going up to compete amongst these guys, I was a bit scared, honestly, and didn't have the confidence in myself.
But the level also over there is really high.
So honestly, when I got there now, I was like, I'm just going to use it as a learning experience.
Exactly.
But after I started interacting with the guys, I realized, well, we're sharing our cultures. So our experiences, what someone may be doing in Europe or Asia, that's new for us, and vice versa. What I'm doing in the Caribbean, it's new for them. And the amazing thing about bartending in the Caribbean is that we have unlimited resources of spices.
A
herbs.
plethora.
So I try to use that as my advantage.
Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, that competition didn't go too well for me. I mean, I was really prepared. I was every night I kept rehearsing my repertoire.
Yeah.
Like exams for me. It became like exams, and there was a bit of miscommunication where cocktail recipes and judging was associated with. So I was left in a predicament to change my recipe last minute or be disqualified. So I was like, you know what, let me just go out and try to follow the rules.
Yeah.
So my entire demeanor, confidence went down, crash. I didn't do well at that competition. However, in 2015, Angostura competition came along, and I said, you know what, I've been to, this is my 4th competition.
Yeah.
Let me know, I know what I expect now. So from there, I started planning, getting the respective information that I needed so that these errors don't reoccur.
Exactly.
And from there, I won the local title, represented Trinidad on the global scale then.
He became
and
the
then-
youngest ever person to
Yeah,
win
so
against Sure Globals.
So
And he didn't tell you a fat
2016.
purse. 10 G's? 10 G's? US?
Yeah, US. But I mean, the cash.
10 G's, bro.
Honestly, Philip, yes, the cash prize I believe I was like 23 years old when I won this competition. Was a ton load of money for me at the time. But honestly, the experience outweighs the cash prize.
The
though.
financial value, yeah.
I mean, traveling around the world, getting paid to travel the world to drink rum and market rum. I mean,
What more can you ask for?
yeah. So definitely, that's kind of my story and where things take off into the industry. And now I don't even work in the accounting industry or field anymore. I mean, it still helps me with my business,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm solely an entrepreneur for hospitality and bartending and mixology. Advocate for young and upcoming bartenders. Yeah.
That's an amazing story. Thanks. So we're going next for competition-wise with Clinton.
Competition wise, bro. That's a long time. I remember I was in a competition and I put some dry ice on a plate.
Yeah.
And I dashed it with some bitters. And I told the judges, I'm smoking the glass. So the judge would be like, oh. You know? But to me now, it felt like I'm doing something you know, innovative and amazing. So, yeah. With vagina. You know, so, yeah, but with time you grow. You know, and when in like, I've been competing since 2008 or 2007. Our local culinary institute, TTHTI, Trinidad and Tobago Hotel and Tourism Institute, right? But it's closed now. At that time, I competed the first year, which was 2007, and then I competed again in 08.
Okay.
Clinton was actually a student at this.
Yeah, I was a student.
Got it.
And the first year, I didn't even place, you know. And the next year was bartender of the year.
Nice.
You know, I started doing my homework and so forth. And that gave me the drive to compete.
Yeah.
You know, I love competing and showcasing talent. You know, and I started competing year after year. I competed in TIS, in the local legs.
Yeah.
First year, I was bronze. That was 11. 12, I was a silver medalist. And 13, I was bartender of the year, best classical cocktail, best vodka cocktail. And I went to Miami.
Yeah.
And I was also a gold medalist with best vodka again.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. I keep winning vodka. But that's just a part of it now. And then like 14 and 15, we didn't have any competitions really happening in Trinidad. And 2016, I competed in TIS again.
Yeah.
And I also won bartender of the year again to go to Miami to compete.
Shit.
And that year I was a silver medalist, and I also won best vodka again.
2016 is where we actually met the team at Charter. And that's where everything.
Yeah, because I remember 2016, I don't remember, Fabian was competing that time, right? Fabian, 2016, yeah.
Yeah, we competed together.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that would have been
That's where
Fabian.
that connection.
You competed in 2015?
No, 2016. We didn't compete.
In the 2015. I
Yeah,
won
yeah.
because I won gold that year at Taste.
At 2015?
In 2015.
Yeah,
right?
because Clinton was there.
Yeah. because he wasn't there. He wasn't ready for that smoke.
So 2016, I won the TIS
Yeah.
local, and I was a silver medalist again with best vodka. And then I also competed that same year with Mary Broussard, the French liquor brand. And I was also bartender of the year for that.
Shit.
So I represented both him and I.
We always competing against each other.
So both him and I, whether he wins or I win, we both win. You know? So that's just how it is.
Sometimes I'm first, Clinton second, Clinton's first, I'm second.
Yeah, so that's how it was for Angostura too. With the local leg. He was first and I was second. You know? So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, he win, I win, but we both win.
To be honest, it's almost because of Clinton I got into the industry. Because I mean, he was a hospitality advocate studying at the culinary school when I was just dealing with numbers, man. Balancing worksheets.
Sitting in my office, like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. And then,
you know, sometimes it's like the student gets better than the teacher.
it always happens. That always happens.
The question comes up.
But that's good though. That means the teacher is good, right?
You just the teacher then. That's the thing.
The teacher is good.
Yeah.
I think for me, competition, like you guys had me racking my brain, man. Especially after a good night last night and a shot of rum. I had it like, what?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, boy. Sheesh. Remember in the industry now at least near 16 years, bro. Yeah, I mean, 16 years been a while, and the growth, as we said earlier, that I've seen. But I remember, for me, as a competition bully though, when I say competition bully, I love to compete.
Yeah.
I love to compete. Like, it was so much to the point that my mentor, Jamal Boeing, he used to usually tell his students, like, Philip, I train Philip to compete. Like, as a competition bartender, like, because as I said, I had the showmanship, you know, entertainer, right? As a natural entertainer. So, looking back on my competitions, I had flavors and stuff that were good. Yeah. But I think I won most of those competitions through selling it. More so, the flavors weren't good enough to get me there, right? But I sold it to the judges with my mouth at the theatrics. So it was more, because I look back, I remember look back at competitions I've done and I was like, this drink wasn't really that great, you know. I said, yeah, but I outshined the bartender though.
The thing is, it's the experience you give to your guests. And so when you're behind a bar competing, your judges becomes your guests.
Yeah.
So you can entertain.
And so it's confidence. And I usually say like at one point in Barbados at home when I compete when I compete locally, right? Yeah. Guys used to say, listen to me. Don't let Philip go first.
Put him last.
Don't let Philip go first. Like I have like the number one ticket.
Yeah.
And guys come and say, Phil, you want third? You know, like because you pull numbers, guys come and say, Philip, go third. Don't go first. Because if you go first,
you can only go downhill.
The place is downhill. Because after this excitement, you don't want me first or you don't want me last. If I go first, everybody else boring. If I come last, you can't remember who came before. You get me? So it's fire. Like whenever I compete, it's fire. Yeah, so even at one point, like I remember the guys used to say, listen to me, this will fill up. So you're backstage in the bullpen, prepping and everything ready. And just like how we here hitting shots with the men. You know, the guys hitting shots in the back. They say, don't mind, this will fill up, you know. Don't mind fill up. He comfortable. I'm nervous. Like guys saying like I'm nervous, don't mind fill up. He comfortable. But for me, it's a love. What came then after coming up on the Jamal's wing now, Jamal Boyno, who is top shelf bartending academy, shout out top shelf bartending academy. He then showed me what mixology was, what flavor pairing was, flavor bouncing, deconstruction of ingredients, understanding ingredients. So with Jamal is like, why you use this over this? If you don't have this, what is the substitute for this instead of this that would yield a similar flavor profile? So then with the knowledge now, and then the theatrics and the flair and everything, you just put it to one and just, I love to compete. My competitions, what?
Yeah, it's you. Jesus, man, Jesus.
Love to compete, bro.
I wanted to ask about nerves, but I don't think you had it from the start.
Like ask me about
your first competition.
My first competition was.
Were you nervous? Like.
Yeah, a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's the first competition. I don't know. Like I'm a young bartender, I remember. Quick fun story. I remember my first competition. I showed up with a bar spoon.
Yeah.
And a shaker tin. Bar spoon, shaker tin. Ready to compete. Rohan Hatshaw, who was Barbados bartender here at that time, shows up with a carry-on, bruv. A full suitcase, bro. And the toolbox. When dudes start to undo this suitcase and pull out components and set up what they call at that time a spaceship. Dudes started to set up a spaceship. I was like, are you the right place? Am I the right place? Because they're looking at my two. I'm looking at my one shaker and a bar spoon.
You still had a shaker in 2011 when I was competing against Daniel Jones and these guys. Man pulling out suitcase of tools, bro.
Bro, bro, and they got one shaker
and a bar spoon.
And not ordinary tools, craft tools.
Like, so my
bespoke.
My thing is regular. These guys got things that they come from space. Like what? I think at the right place. And then it kind of brought. Well, not. Yeah. Well, let me say it beat my confidence a bit. Not breaking, because I was like.
You're underprepared.
Yeah, boy. Like these guys didn't come to play.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, these men didn't come to play.
This shit is serious.
So boy, like, this is some serious shit. Like, how the hell? Are you not ready for this war? I bring a knife to a gunfight. Like, but I came third. And that was an extra competition as well too. I think that was my second time competing actually. Right? But my first time, there's a brand in Barbados called Clayton's Cola Tonic, which is a non-alcoholic cocktail mixer that it comes from the cola nut from West Africa. Okay. So It's very vibrant in color and like dry on the palate. But you would like it. But it gives you energy too. Yeah, so because it's a natural source of caffeine, right? So I competed at Cleveland's Cola Tonic and I won that competition.
But you're ambassador that.
Yeah, I was the
right?
the Cleveland's Cola Tonic ambassador since then to now, probably more than a decade now. And and when I competed that competition, just like Neil, it was a Christmas competition. I remember I did a beetroot and coconut cocktail, right? Where I even did a beetroot whipped cream. But when I look back at pictures from it, I go like, ooh. Because the garnish, it looks like I used the biggest beet I could have found in the farm, bro. Like, so the cocktail is like this, and the garnish is like that big. So it's like a this.
It's supposed to be a coaster.
Like the garnish, about as big as a coaster, dog. So I remember having so the glass, and then you cut the beet as a disc, and then I had a cookie cutter, which is a star. And I cut the star in it, and then the garnish was like this huge, and I look back at it.
No, by that time you're thinking you're the man.
That's the sexiest, this was the sexiest thing ever, bro. I mean, it won, right? But no, I look back at, you look back at, different competitions you did, and you say, well, all right, yeah. And to the point where I love certain flavors so much that at one point, when you say mentor Jamal, I got banned from certain ingredients. I was banned from passion fruit, star anise, and bay leaf. Jamal said, use other things. And coconut. None of those. So it helped me to push my creativity to develop. But looking at it now is to compete now. I enter competitions with a whole different mindset. It's like what do I want to portray here? So instead of just the drink,
it's a story now.
Story,
Reason.
the reasoning behind it, and I try to know outside of just trying to sell the judges or sell a drink. I try to sell that experience. So why you having this? Right? So this reminds me of my time in Curacao chilling with, Francesco and the boys. A party time at Mambo or, ATVA in the off-roads of Curacao. Yeah. It reminds me of the cactus. There's a little bit of red dirt. But it's the progression is so much more now. But I was I haven't competed in a while, to be honest.
But because of COVID and everything.
Yeah, COVID as well. Because I think my last competition, I actually beat 45 countries to win the Embassy Chef Challenge. Mixologist of the Year, became the the inaugural winner for.
Where was this?
For that. That was in Washington, D.C.
Washington.
Yeah.
Nice one.
That was in D.C.
I always ask, how do you guys get these competitions?
Well, true, because, for me, it was Barbados tourism. So representing Barbados is a chef and a mixologist, and I won it that same year as well. I actually won 3 international competitions back to back. So I won Chef Challenge the Friday, something called the Rum Rumble in Manhattan, New York, the Tuesday, and then the Friday that same week.
Usain Bolt of mixology.
That was crazy. Here's the funny part. So the next year I came back to compete in these same competitions. I came second in all 3.
You should have competed.
Bro, I cried. I cried like a child, bro. I cried. What? Especially at Chef Challenge. I cried because the guy that won came from Ghana. He was like, "My brother, you had the best drink. I don't know how I won." You shed tears when strangers walk up to you and rub your shit. You'll be alright. But that's the passion, you see. That's the passion that we have for the craft. Is
and the time you invest.
Yeah, you invest things, and I tell you, you would know. These guys would tell you, we spend some money on tools, man.
I see you guys open your spaceships.
So no, but that's the thing. So no, I understand how it feels, how young bartenders feel coming up against us.
Yeah.
Because from those guys, I learned. So you see, after that time of seeing Rohan and stuff coming up, I no longer showed up to competitions with one shaker tin. I showed up with a pull-on and a suit, though. I didn't used to show up in jeans and sneakers no more. I used to show up in a suit.
All the time.
Yeah.
Bruh, in a suit now,
Make them
though.
nervous, man. Like,
So
shit, this is serious.
I demeanor serious with it, you know. Sometimes
Yeah,
I ain't playing no more, dog. Sometimes even got a chick pulling my carry on, dog. I walk in like, you know how pilot, when you see pilots coming through the airport, the pilot in front and the air host on the flight. So I got a chick pulling my suitcase, dog. And I land and it's psyching them out. So I learned like the psychology part of it. So I remember how I felt when I see Rohan and them, and then but they shouting, you know, polite, down to earth. I'm a humble cat.
Exactly.
But I telling you, like, I come to compete.
Yeah.
So that used to get me nervous. It got to the point I got banned for competing in Barbados.
This guy.
They banned me like, nah.
Like, I've been for like 2 years.
No,
Don't compete
why
no
when I
more.
say banned? Because like when guys hear that feel like competing,
Give the new guys some room.
they
Yeah,
they drop out the competition. Like,
Yeah, we understand that, bro.
So I say, you know what?
Yeah,
Like,
we
hold
understand
off.
that.
So
That's another reason that we don't really compete much
Yeah.
more. I mean,
I compete now for big purses.
Like, only out there.
Oh,
like,
well,
in the States,
internationally, yeah. And if I compete at home, usually because you know a lot of the times I'm called to mentor.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean. I usually aid with the competitions or judge.
Yeah.
Right?
Only, well, like you guys did in 2019. You guys came
Yeah.
to help us out and with
And judge your
ingredients,
and judge your
you
team.
guys in the set. Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have done it locally as well too, with
Nice,
different
nice.
brands and stuff.
And plus too, because sometimes too the passion that I put into remember Neil did mention that you know, upon winning Angostura Globals, it
Yeah.
wasn't so much the financial gain from it, but it was the experience and exposure he got.
Exactly.
But for me, like no, and he will tell you, we invest so much into competition. We don't play when we competing. You might laugh. I've did a competition where my glasses were $1,000 US. Well, sorry, 500 US, 1,000 Barbados.
Yeah.
You bizarre.
Jesus.
regardless, it's still a lot.
Yeah, it's still a lot. Don't try to change it. It's still a lot.
Exactly. So imagine. So I paid $250 US for one glass. These were levitating glasses, though. They floated in midair. Yeah. Like,
Oh, I know. That's
so,
what it's worth.
so yeah, dog. So levitating glasses. I paid $1,000. When the guys asked how much for the glasses. Because when they see them, they say these are gonna be expensive. I say I paid $1,000 for them. Guys hold their head. $1,000? But here the funny part. I came second.
I know. I thought so. Well, I think I understand.
But to be quite honest, Ryan Adamson, who is also a former Barbados bartender
Yeah, my
year,
boy.
Ryan used to beat me that year, and as much as I came
How much
second,
was his glasses?
it's cheap, cheaper, but
Probably got that from the hotel, man.
the second, because you know it was two drinks you had to compete with. My first drink was solid, right? My first drink was solid. For some reason, I can come up. You know, you have one drink that you're always excited about.
Yeah.
And the second one would be a maybe.
Supper.
Yeah. So I was hoping that the theatrics in the glasses can be true. But
You expected it to lift the drink.
pun intended, right? But Rand didn't just come with a solid drink. He came with two. He came with two.
No, Ryan is a good bartender.
He came with two solid. He came with two solid drinks. So upon seeing him compete, I said, "Yeah, he got it. He got me. He got me."
I was fortunate enough to see this guy Ryan competed, and he's like a charmer behind the bar, man. He's a poet.
Yeah.
He's a poet.
A lot of people. One thing a person told me, like, everybody's friendly behind the scenes, but when you get up there on that stage, you need to become a beast, like fully focused, fully ready to.
Of course, because
it's still a competition. You
of
know?
course, because sometimes if you forget one ingredient,
Yeah, it's
it
done.
throws off your entire game.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know?
But before, I find for me, being in the bullpen, I always was that individual to bring everybody together. Like Clayton and Neil, these guys will tell you. Because at the end of the day, we come here to do the same thing. You already know your recipe. I don't know it. Neil has his recipe. I can't do nothing to your drink. I mean, and
Of course.
we don't sabotage one another.
No,
We the same.
I-
So there is no case it's a case where you might break, like Neil has two glasses and one fall and break.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of individual that would say, "Yo, borrow mine."
Yeah,
You understand? Borrow mine.
Totally.
Because he probably,
Yeah, Bills
he probably going on second. I competing at number 8.
Yeah.
I got time. I got lots of time. So
To do your
to
thing.
do my thing, the judges would taste and everything, and then you would know. Well, listen to me. You gotta
Bro.
go outside and get them, man.
We totally get that.
Get them back in the back. We live like that.
Yeah,
like,
we know about
and
helping
that's
people
how I
with
am,
garnishes.
because you know what? And that's how we end up. That's how we end up with brothers, bro.
Exactly.
Things like that. And then I remember one year when they did the CMTS competition. Usually they have guys bringing them out. So we went in the bar and the bullpen was tense, bro. Because nobody really knew anyone. It was tense. And I was like, nah, this shit got me nervous. Because fellas walking around, just looking at each other, like doing thing, being cool and casual, but it's so much tension. I said, no, boy, I got a bottle of rum, bro. Rum always makes it fun, brother. And I said, come, fellas, and I poured 12 shots in a glass. And I started, I give everybody a glass. I say, hey, Philip Casanova, Barbados. Right? And Clinton. I'm right around the circle. And you see from there,
Everything flowed.
it was pure vibes, son. And I said, but bring another shot. So we do another round again. So listen, okay, I know we got to
It
compete.
just takes one person to break the ice.
One with the ice, bro. And then you look, I don't remember the judges in shock, like, cause they never see this in the history of this. Competitors helping
Cheering on each
other
other.
competitors bring out their stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I know. That's how we know it.
Like, competitors.
No other way.
So the judges, like, people scratching their head when they first come out.
Yeah.
The fuck? Like, this is different competition.
This is different. And then you hear the guys now, like when they compete, and usually bullpen is quiet, but you hear everybody that come on stage, the guys in the back, like every team, every country supporting everybody, and like
That's nice.
the judges
That's beautiful.
the whole energy of the arena was elevated and because ain't like no, I trying to kill this body or nah. Everybody supporting. We all bartenders, and the guys will come and taste it and say, "Yeah, this is fire." And that's how you end up with flavors. Like, cause Clinton would tell me, "All right, I did this way," because I might have a coconut syrup. He has one, but when you check it, they're two different dynamics. His might have more nuttiness to it, a smokiness. Like, oh, how you got this? And then from there we share knowledge. And we just go. Like, we already compete. There's nothing I could do.
Exactly.
We compete. Like you
You
already got
can
it.
change it right now.
What you gonna do? You can't change it. You already got something.
Knowledge is to share, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
Knowledge is to
You know what I
share.
mean? So I telling you, like the competition was one of the best things that ever happened to my bartending career, bro. And I would encourage any youngster, any bartender, don't be scared to compete, because you never know. Like, look, damn, how much countries I've traveled to since then. How much celebrities I've met as a result, presidents, prime ministers, officials.
Competition brings out the best in you as well.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure.
And like with competition, and I'm taking a look like at Clinton right now. But with competition, cocktail competition, do you find it okay? Because last I just did a competition, and a lot of people brought out food pairing with their cocktail, And for me, I see it. I like it's a cocktail competition. It's not food competition. We're not doing, But a lot of people brought like pastry or something like that to complement the cocktail. What do you guys think about that?
Right. My take on that is a beverage competition, right? So what some judges would have done, which is the wrong thing, I think, like say, like when I went to Bordeaux to compete, I took coconut jelly.
Yeah.
Like we had coconut jelly. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I made like a ceviche style dish with it,
Okay.
right? And what the judge did is that he tasted the jelly first and then tasted the drink. But was an experience on my behalf at the same time too. The food was it had so much of salt in it that it kind of affected the taste of the drink, and which also resulted in me the judge saying the drink was a bit off, But in a beverage competition, don't ever taste the food first.
Gotcha.
Don't ever taste the food first.
I kind of beg to differ in a certain aspect, because it all depends on the concept that you're going with. It can be an amuse-bouche for your
Right.
cocktail.
But with that, it needs to be properly constructed.
Yeah.
And it depends on how you're selling it.
Yeah.
Is it accompanying the drink to help the drink taste better? Or is it like a pairing?
Because like, my view is different. Because to me, food and drink goes hand in hand.
It does.
Try and eat bread. Try and eat a loaf of bread and don't drink something. Your saliva gotta be strong.
And,
Yeah.
and something as well, we always try to make the most use out of a product, right?
Exactly.
So I remember Clinton competed once and he used corn in one of his cocktails. And I remember both him and myself at home trying to work on his recipes. And we said, you know what? We're gonna maximize the use of this corn. So remind me if we use the peel of the corn to
That's
hold the
when
garnish.
we wrap the glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the glass. We made a puree.
I think I want vodka that here too, you know.
I remember you guys use
Every
the,
every
you guys
aspect
use
of
the
the
strands.
corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys use the strands to tie the peel
Yeah. To the glass. Yeah. So,
But that's different. Like using like to get the most out of the ingredient is something else. But in making something whole, like the whole different, just to
no, let
pair
me
with
show
it.
you.
yeah.
There's
It's a bit tricky.
where food and drink concerned. I remember one year with the Barbados team we competed with. We have something in Barbados that you get every Saturday called sauce. So sauce
Okay.
is like pickled pig,
Okay.
right? Pickled pork.
Okay.
So it's you have some parsley, onion, Scotch bonnet pepper. So it's like
juice.
lime juice.
Yeah.
So it's a pickled dish.
Okay.
So what we did, like being outside the Caribbean or outside the Barbados, you would not know what sauce is or how it tastes.
Pretty much.
So we did that, which is a food dish, right? Using the pork. And then we serve the drink. So remember the judges trying the sauce first, the pickle, and then having the drink. And they went like, whoa. Because what we did constructed a meal now.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty
Where
much.
we took the same ingredients that you will put into the meal, but break it down to see how we could use it in the bar. So remember we did like a fat wash
Gotcha.
for the
Okay.
for the vodka,
Nice.
where we infuse the pigtail, the salted pork,
Yeah.
inside the vodka. You understand? Put it to freeze. So when you smell it, it smells like meat, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It tastes like meat. And then when we took all the ingredients now, so like the same onions and every other component that was in that particular dish, we found a way to use it in the cocktail, whether it be a syrup, whether it be a puree, whether it be, and the end result was
amazing.
exactly the same.
Okay.
And he won gold. Ryan was the same person, the same Ryan Adamson.
Yeah.
That's a good concept.
Yeah.
Where you take the food item and add it into the cocktail.
So
Like you
Deconstruct
deconstruct
it,
it. Yeah.
right? So we use it as a way to showcase as a comparison, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you telling me that you got a cocktail that you call sweet bread,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when you try the bread and you try the beverage, they taste nothing alike.
Exactly.
So how does it, what's the condition?
Well, I was
between it?
that match together with
Yeah.
the name.
With
Yeah.
how-
The compliment. For me, I would use, if I'm using a food item, I'll try to ensure that complements the drink as opposed to add a whole different
To be in contrast, you know.
flavor.
But like for me, like as well, if I use a
It must tie back together, if you know what I mean.
Or if I'm using a food, if I'm using a food element with a beverage, right?
Hey guys, cheers.
Salute. This is a long day, fellas.
These glasses are sexy though.
I have a session after this, John. So yeah, as I was saying. So for example, say we're having the beverage here, and I have some kind of food element here.
Yeah.
If it has like sodium, let's say it says something of a high sodium content, it is supposed to elevate my drink here. So you know what I mean? By the touch, by that touch of saltiness, it's supposed to lift whatever flavors within my cocktail that I need, or if it's a smoky element, right? It's supposed to help accentuate whatever. So you don't want having food and beverage that fight against each other, because then you cancel out yourself. Like kind of unfortunately what happened to Clinton with his competition.
And I've seen it a lot of times.
Where the food neutralized
Yeah.
the flavors in his beverage. So it does happen. So once again, it now comes from just wanting to create a drink, but knowledge.
Yeah.
No,
How everything goes together.
Together, yeah.
flavor pairing.
Mind you,
flavor
the drink was excellent on its own.
Yeah.
Drink was excellent on its own.
But it didn't match together.
Yeah, it didn't match together. So
So that's where knowledge comes in, you know what I mean? And that is, so outside of just being excited and wanting to mix everything, you know, when you first started, you mix everything together.
like whatever you can do, you
And I'm sure as a competing bartender, we've all been in the position where we model some sort of fruit.
pretty much.
Time to pour into our glassware and
All the
pulps. All the pulps at the end, you're scraping that.
all the
Bartender, you
absorb
have
all the
10 seconds
liquid.
remaining.
Bartender, you have 5 seconds.
So as opposed to modeling fruit where the bartending aspect has changed from then, I wouldn't model a fruit and then try to fine strain it through a strainer. Now I would try to incorporate that same fruit, but from a different perspective. I mean, into a puree.
Yeah.
So it works easier, faster to use, and easier to work with.
All depends on
And it
what it is.
minimizes wastage.
I mean, I remember too that just like Neil saying, and from competing as well, I learned tricks.
Yeah.
I learned tricks over time as to like how to buy more time or to get my point across. So like, you guys were asking me, Philip, your jiggers are very big. You bought one in a competition now.
Yeah.
I don't need a jigger this small.
To pour twice.
To pour 4 ounces, I gotta go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm a jigger two. Just
Boom.
boom.
Yeah.
Right? And then that now, because you know when you're competing, you're nervous.
Yeah.
So you might go the first, pour good.
And then the
Then
second
they tell you 30 seconds. And then you go on spillage.
Yeah.
So points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, learn a lot of tricks.
you
Over the
learn.
years,
You,
yeah.
like you guys going through tricks. If for the guys that want to compete and they listen to this podcast, what you guys can recommend about for tricks?
I wouldn't say tricks more so. Something that I've learned through competing and through Daniel Jones, the person that I got into bartending from. In terms of preparation, what I was taught to prepare for a competition, not just knowing your recipe and knowing what you're gonna do, but actually pretending you're live. So it's
And rehearsing
a
it.
live rehearsal. So you lay out everything the way you're gonna execute. So
You can
by
use
the time
water
you
to
reach
practice.
that stage, you can close your eyes
And do it.
and do
Yeah.
it. You know where everything goes. My rum is gonna be here, my bitters, my limes, my shaker, my bar tools, my bar spoon.
You set it up and you take a picture of it.
So
Then you
Yeah.
go again. Then
Yeah.
because sometimes while competing you're so nervous. The rum is right in front of you.
Yo,
But you
And
forget-
for nothing.
I came
It becomes invisible.
I came third in Angostura Regional, right?
Yeah. I forgot the bitters.
No. It wasn't a bit. It wasn't a bit. It was the rum.
You forgot the rum?
Right? Because what happened is what Neil was explaining is called flow.
Yeah.
So that's your flow, and it depends on how you compete too. Like I'm right-handed,
Okay.
so I go sometimes. Well, it depends. If I'm doing 2 cocktails, sometimes I go right to left
Yeah.
and then left to right.
Gotcha.
So that's your flow. So I might start here with this drink. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Philip Casanova Antoine, and today I'll be making earth water for you, right?
Yeah.
And then we start here, and then it go. What happened in the competition? We were in St. Martin.
Yeah.
They had to switch around the ice bin. So as a result,
Everything switched.
the guys that switched it up moved my rum to organize the ice. So then that threw off my flow. So and that's the thing about rehearsing as well too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if it becomes so stickler, it becomes so embedded into your
Yeah.
brain that when it got there,
When something just move.
one component moves. So it tends to, as much as you do flow,
Yeah.
because you know from I find for me, I'm a freestyler,
Okay.
right? In terms of I know the points in my head
Yeah.
that I want to portray or get across, the main points, you know, the talking, the highlight points about the rum and the ingredients being used,
Yeah.
right? But I try not to get too generic because then it seems too rehearsed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It seems too rehearsed for me, but I would say like not tricks per se, but be solid on your drink.
Good.
What would say to new and upcoming bartenders that are competing?
Yeah.
You created this, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't tell me that you're confident in this drink, I can't can't believe you. Right? I
Yeah.
can't believe you. You gotta look like I would drink this.
Yeah. This is the
This
best
is the
drink.
best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sell me it. Like
Yeah.
sell it. Be confident with your drink. You know what I mean? Don't be you here to compete. let the judges know you do this for a living. I know, I do get that you're nervous and stuff.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
bar, correct, guys?
Yeah,
But
very much.
this is what you do for a living. Show me what you enjoy being a bartender, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, enjoy yourself while you're upstairs.
Show
out
me
on
what
stage.
you enjoy being a bartender. And as I tell you, for me, showmanship is like,
Yes.
showmanship is one thing. I remember doing a competition where the crowd thought I was flirting with the female judge. So when I finished,
Were you not?
but that was part of it, right? So when I finished this first drink, the second drink was called Beautiful Barbados. So instead of just starting, I said, well, I'm gonna start my second drink. I stopped and I popped up on the bar. I looked at the female, Beautiful Barbados. How are you? And the crowd goes, what the f-? In the middle of the competition, the man for the judge. I see your eyes are so wonderful. My gosh, they're so blue. It's only when they saw I picked the blue curacao and poured it in the glass. I was like, oh, you're competing. You get
You know,
me? It's
Ryan did something like that, you know.
Right?
Ryan did something like that in Miami.
Probably see that. It was like people say, oh, people. I mean, like people, because I literally just stopped because that drink was finished. So I paused.
Yeah.
Because obviously you went through your floor, so I know you got enough time to do this.
Yeah.
Right? Some beautiful Barbados, my girl. How are you? Right? But talking to the judge, right? But you should see the look on her face as well. She looked around like, this guy ain't serious. He is not serious, right? Your eyes are wonderful. Oh my gosh, you're so blue. And then she looked like, I don't have blue eyes. Right? And then when they put your glasses, the warmth of your nation makes your place so clear. You know what? Let me put some of this coconut water in here. So it was like a coconut water drink. So it was the floor.
Yeah.
And then I remember I even had my cousin in the back. Right? So I said, you're talking about basically the Bajan culture, the people.
Yeah.
I said you soon hear somebody and like there's a brand called Pine Hill Dairy, which was one of the sponsors. So instead of having the box, which to me, as much as it's a sponsored brand,
Yeah.
on the table, I had everything float in vessels. So how am I supposed to portray that this is Pine Hill passion fruit juice? Right? So I remember when I put it, I said, let me put some of this in. I said, you soon hear one of these malicious Bajans ask, and my cousin from the back said, wait! That is Pine Hill passion fruit juice in there? I said, yep, you see what I tell you? Right? Right? So that way, the brand gets, the message gets delivered, the brand gets their shout out.
Yeah, yeah.
And it became entertaining. Like, I said, you see what I tell you? Right?
That cool.
Yeah, so
That's dope. That's
right
dope.
now,
That cool.
I remember now,
I like that.
I was freestyle going on because I could not figure out what the hell it was supposed to be made. Like coming up, I had the first drink solid. The second drink, I could not figure out what we wanted to do. I said, you know what? Turn this drink into a cocktail.
Yeah.
So remember at the end, what it did, I took I used a mojito foam.
Yeah.
Right? So I said, well, just like the book say, with God and his big right hand. That's why. Because the drink is called Beautiful Barbados. So it was a turquoise drink, basically reflecting like the seawater.
Yeah.
Like the Lord at his big right hand. Finish your coastline in pure white sand. Right? So the whipped cream, mojito whipped cream.
Yeah.
So pure white sand. I garnished it. So I had it done in like a box with beat sands. But I had beat sand with edible
Shells and
with glitter in it and shells and
nice.
stuff.
Nice.
And coral. So I present this, it was like a beach steam drink. Because remember, it's called Beautiful Barbados.
Yeah.
And then remember at the end freestyling saying, well, we on the east. I can't, like, we on the east and we do it the most. But just so tonight, I'm leaving here because I'm gonna stamp my foot in this course, drop the bar towel and walk off stage like crazy. Like the crowd go mad.
Acting.
Like, drop the towel like
Tell.
he started flirting and you drop the towel and walk off stage like, you know what I mean? And the crowd go crazy, bro. Like so it's fun. I tell you, I enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing about competitions. You can express yourself in so many ways. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just be you, and that's one thing to the youths.
For
Be you.
my direction in competing, I always try to deliver my drink to the judges. So as I say, a phrase that I use often: the perfect drink lies not in my hands, but in hands of the consumer. Right? Because the typical word or phrase we get behind the bar is make me something nice, surprise me.
What do you like?
But in that particular moment, that guest, they may be feeling for something fruity and sweet, but I wouldn't know.
You ask them.
So I need to ask. So what I say, I try to create my drink to fit their moment and time, their feel. So I'll go out to ask, how do you feel tonight? What day you had? Do you prefer something sweet, something limey, something citrus, refreshing? And for competitions as well, I try to, not all the time it's easy to determine who are your judges, but if you could, I'll always recommend try to get a little history on your judges to know their background.
Appeal to that individual.
Their flavor, their palate that they like most.
When I kind of use that, if you want to call it a trick, I kind of use that when I competed in Angostura, Beach Bumberry, Tiki guy.
Yeah, Tiki guy.
Right. I know, man. This is the Tiki guru within cocktails. So now, hey, you know what? I want to appeal to him. He's the head judge. So my drink, he have this book, Potions of the Caribbean, where when I read the book, it's totally about Caribbean history. So I tailored my drink around that entire concept.
I would not have made an old fashioned for him like that.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah, exactly.
My drink was called Bitter Mayan. I had like coconuts, I smoked dried coconuts, and I put like tobacco in there.
Cherry tobacco. And
Smoke.
That was really nice.
It appealed to the Caribbean history, to tribes, that whole concept of
Exactly.
our ancestors. So I know, you know what? This is where his passion lies. I'm going to deliver to him. So that's one.
Yeah, you know,
technique.
Like, a lot of people didn't know. Like, I'm learning a lot just sitting and listening. So you guys know.
I noticed this is vital as well too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Read your rules.
Yes.
You don't compete against other bartenders, you know, brother. You compete against the criteria.
Correct.
Every competitor starts with 100 points. Everybody starts at 100 points. Is what you do
To make you lose the points.
that creates the deductions.
Let's bring back to a time in school. My lecturer told me, everyone starts his exam with 100 points.
Yeah, everybody starts with 100.
Has 100 marks. So we were like, what do you mean? So we all passed. He was like, no. You're starting this exam with 100 marks.
Is what you can do
Because what you going to do to lose
to lose points. So the first question you answer wrong, you know, you lost a point.
Yeah. Another tip, just go with bartending and competition. Like he would freestyle.
Yeah.
I prefer to have my script written down and rehearse it.
But that's my strength.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah. Do what works for you.
Exactly.
Do what works for you. Practice and figure out your way.
Yeah.
All the time.
But you have to try both. Like,
Yeah,
try
yeah,
and
of
see
course.
which ones works.
Yeah.
But-
So you can also approach it like a movie. So what Neil and I usually do, we would write down our entire script. So when you go on the platform now and you say, pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, I am Clinton Ramdan, and I will be presenting a very
But
delectable
again,
cocktail.
that can go twofold as well, because I've seen other bartenders did that, and it sounds
Right.
as though they're reading a script.
And then
Right.
practice that, and then they practice it so often to forget a point. I freeze like, what's supposed to come next?
You can approach it different ways. You can write down your entire script. So by the time you say introduction, you don't have to write down everything. I am Francesco. I'm gonna do. Yeah, you could say anything on introduction, but you know for sure when you watch the clock, it should be at 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
When you get to
so
this
you can
particular
use that
point.
as a benchmark. So by the time you're shaking or stirring, you're supposed to.
I supposed to
already
be saying
know-
this.
Yes.
Or already
Yeah.
said this.
Yeah. Or so by the time you're shaking, you're supposed to tell yourself, hey, I already have 2 minutes to finish,
Yeah.
garnish, say something, present, and have time a few seconds
Yeah.
extra.
What Clinton just said is actually with name. So as much as I might say like to freestyle, it's not necessarily freestyle. Because if you see my notebook there on the table, I got notes.
Yeah.
I have points. Right? Key points that I want to use.
Right.
But instead of, having the thing that I repeat all the time, I say, well, good evening. You know what I mean? My name is, so you know that the introduction to your name. So introduce your name however still, because it might change. Right? It might the arena, the
Vibe that you're feeling
vibe
from the crowd
might
and every.
might-
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so no, instead of before I had it scripted where we'll come in to say well, pleasant good day, pleasant good day, ladies and gentlemen, right?
Yeah.
I might come in and say, yeah! Right? Depends on the vibe in the room.
Exactly.
Right? And that's just random. Like, what the hell?
We're like, oh shit. Hey, people be saying shit like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I do it for purpose. Like, so no, I do it for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Yeah! Or, good morning! Like,
Yeah.
like Bounty Killer. Right? Left hand! So like, but doing that, because other bartenders coming good, that's boring, bro.
Yeah.
We've judged competitions. So you come, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Philip Casanova. I represent the Barbados. Everybody jump. So no, the attention. I got everybody attention. Now, like,
Yeah.
what the hell just happened? People jump. Like,
They actually use that in movies production as well
Yeah,
to
I mean-
capture attention. So
like that.
in photos, if you're into videography and you want to take a photo, they will hit something loud to capture you. That emotion.
Right? So
Yeah.
and then I might go, I break it right down. So know that I have your attention. You know what I mean?
I just come in today. It's a lovely day for refreshing like this.
Exactly. Like, for no reason, like jump this shit over you.
Like,
Like,
oh shit. Jesus.
what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Right? So it's like, but I got your attention though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now I want to hear what you have to say.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right?
Within the first couple of seconds, your guest would already know, do I want to listen
Yeah,
to this
I want to
person?
listen to this
or not?
man.
Come in like a pastor. Ain't that right?
Yeah. I say, God! Well,
Brought me here.
It's God here.
Jesus as you? Right? Like, God told me to talk to you, my brother. So you got different pitches, different ranges.
Yeah.
So it's like with them, and it's the funniest thing. If you go to church and the pastor see front row, yeah, everybody front row that does it. It's open now, so
Yeah.
it's engaging, like keeping that audience attention, like little more here. So it's you, be you.
So what we just say, just be unpredictable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, pretty much.
Don't
But calculate
be
it.
Not too much.
But my mentor
Not too
also
much,
Jamal.
yeah.
My mentor Jamal also we use a slogan we call KISS, where he says, "Keep it simple, stupid." Right? Yeah. Keep it simple. So like, don't try to like you won't know nothing about molecular mixology or chemicals
Flaring.
or flaring, but you came on and you saw a crowd response from the bartender in front. Because he flared, and the crowd went wild and do this thing.
You want to do it too,
flare
like now, yeah, like no.
Bash.
Boof! Rum on the ground.
Spillage.
No spillage. This is over, brother.
The sponsored rum.
The people sponsor product. The digestion is the camera on the ground.
Yeah.
Splinters.
Yeah.
Dog.
man. Yeah.
I
no.
usually say it's a cap 23 or
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
you know
That's
what I mean.
done.
You like
It's done. It's done. Yeah, that's
you
done.
done, bro.
For sure.
You like it even matter sense compete no more. Just pack it up alone.
Let's just leave
You didn't want to hear the results.
spaceship and just leave. Like.
Because no. So even like sometimes like for me for flair, like I know I do simple stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I remember one time I was competing and I knocked over, but you're nervous, things happen. I knocked over my some spirit, right? Or part of the drink. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh shit. I said, but you know what? Just like in a everyday bar, accidents still happen. But it's the cleanliness that counts. So basically, lady judges know, like sanitation know, like I cleaning this shit, like you know me, like I cleaning this, like
You don't make it a big issue.
yeah.
Anything happen
Nah,
during
okay.
competition, paid no mind.
Right, don't pay, like shit happen
Yeah.
because they know it happens, and I explained it. Remember that was the trick. So just like in an everyday bar, so now it seems that like to the average person, like he knocked this over on purpose. He just do that on purpose. Nah, it should be. It did spill, right? But clean it so elegant, but it's the sanitation that counts. But I remember doing that as well because the bartender in front of me that competed was messy. So he spilled everything everywhere. Right? So my objective.
You milk it.
Yeah. My objective now was to outshine him. Right? By being clinical. Not to actually spill. But when it spilled, I remember good. Because I remember when they came now to compete, they know how to wipe down the bar. The guys had everything all over the place. Right? So I said, it's the cleanliness that counts. And wipe it clean and look at the spot. Like purposely, like, look at the judges and look at the spot. The judges give me a look like, this bastard. I remember the crowd going, ooh. So like, I took a job, like, it's like I took a job at dude, right? Like, you know what I mean? So that was me, right? Yeah, but that was my recovery. The judges laughed it off and they didn't even pay that. And I ended up winning the competition, right? But yeah. Nah, none.
What did you drink? Is it good?
Yeah. But sometimes, I mean, you could have a just a okay drink, you know.
Yeah.
You can have an okay drink because I find now too, and you guys will know, it has moved from just about a great drink. Yeah. But no, it's about your knowledge of the use of the ingredients.
Legacies like that.
Mm-hmm. Right? How your overall demeanor behind the bar, how your bar looks when you finish competing. The use, you know, like the use of your tongues, you know, sanitization and then you find out in competition, the judges ask you, so what would you cost this drink? Right? Yeah. So now you got a drink that going caviar, it going champagne, right? Yeah. And you have a aged rum, a 25-year-old rum. Oh, I'll charge $5. Oh, you definitely know the hell you don't know what the fuck you definitely
You're trying to bust my bar.
Yeah. You gonna bankrupt. You gonna bankrupt this place. You gonna definitely bankrupt this place. $5?
Yeah. So that's quite important as well.
Knowledge.
When creating cocktails, try to. I mean, there are cocktails that cost $200 US, $300 US, but that's one off.
Exactly.
So you also gotta be mindful of the ingredients that you're using.
Yeah.
Because we're a bar, you open a bar to make money, to make profit. So you gotta be mindful.
Yeah, I know you said that. No, you said that too, Neil. That's a very valid point. You know, because I find in competitions you want to get people try to get so over the top, yes. Right? But no, you got this cocktail that create this cocktail that would like 10 minutes to make. Imagine you got 25 people coming
asking for that cocktail.
Want that one cocktail. Well, you can't do nothing else for the rest of the night.
No.
And that's what syrups, I believe, are doing in bars compared to liqueurs these days. Yeah. They pack with flavor, they're more concentrated, and on top of it, they are cheaper.
Yeah, way cheaper.
Right.
Versus liqueurs.
So,
But that's the thing. I remember in 2019, randomly the judge just asking, how much would you charge us? I'm like, shit. Like, fuck. Like how the fuck?
you want to study it?
Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Around 20 guilders. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, shit.
I remember seeing his face. He was like, 20 guilders. Good job. All right, cause you know,
Spur the moment,
because as you add these ingredients, remember, like we professionals, we bar professionals, so we know, like, or I remember one time I was competing with one of my boys, and dude added 8 drops of Angostura orange bitters to this cocktail. I was like, Ezra gonna be mad. And then 8 drops of aromatic bitters. So the man used 16 dashes of bitters to this one drink. I said, nah, fuck this, he lost. Bro, I was in second place. That's the same competition with Rohan. Yeah. When I had the shaker tin and the glass, my first competition. I said, nah, this
because it was an Angostura competition.
It was an Angostura competition.
They tried to.
So
But it's $5
But 8
$5
dashes of Angostura orange bitters. Orange bitters, if you don't use it properly,
it's very
it could be
perfumey and
unforgiving.
Yeah.
Fam, when I tasted the drink, I was like, Jesus Christ, Ezra, fire. Like, I was in second place. Ezra knocked me straight into third, dog. Look, I remember seeing the judges. Let me put on him mic. When he says 8 dashes, the judges scratch their head. Yeah. When he says 8 aromatics, I remember the judges put on the books and pen. Like, this is your mind. Like, you mad. Like, I remember the guys, like, seeing the judges put down the pen. Vic,
yeah. They're like, what is he doing?
Victor was there. Was like, this ain't make no sense no more. Like, the judges put down the pens, bro. But you see, when it was time to try it,
they were like double.
He get a special mention, bro. He get an award for using the most bitters. I remember it's an Angostura competition. 16 dashes of bitters to one drink, fam. And you couldn't even, like, the man flavors were so well balanced. I was like, nah, he's a bitters god.
That's like the Amora Amaro.
He was a bitters god.
You know of the Amora Amaro?
Just go, but I might go step off camera for a bit. You know what I mean? The ram and water sinking in.
Yo, you guys gotta go.
I got, but like, we have a training session at one of the hotels here on the island.
Got you. So everybody, we went a little long. The guy says things to do and places to be, but it was a very informative podcast, and especially with these three boys. And I was so honored to have them on this podcast, especially.
It's a pleasure being here, bro.
Thanks for you guys for giving time, guys. And it was just amazing. I learned a lot. I don't know. Take a look at the podcast, listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and just listen to what these guys have to say, because you learn from anything, like from competition to ambassadorship and everything else in this business. And I really want to talk along with these guys, but you guys know they have places to be because they're busy and they're,
But I mean,
there's a future.
Feel free to hit us up with any questions on our social media accounts as well.
I'll put it on in the caption
handles?
below. Yeah, I'll put it below
man.
in the link. You guys a link of Instagram. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
for
okay.
sure.
That's perfect.
And then you guys can just hit them up if you guys have any questions, or if you guys are on the islands, if you
Yeah,
guys
man.
want to learn something or anything, just hit them up. And I think
Even like if you like, you know how we are ambassadors for tourism, as
Yeah.
the slogan says, I am tourism. So
Exactly.
even if you like any of the viewers happen to be viewing and you in Barbados and you want to find Philip Casanova, and bartenders know sports,
Yeah, exactly.
Bartenders know everything. So you want to know where to be, where's the spot to go, you want a local
Not to go.
where not to go. A local experience. Feel free, as you said, like hit me up. A friendly guy, down to earth all the time. Don't mind the dress code and the flair. I'm simple. I love to laugh and enjoy myself.
That's the amazing thing about the industry as well. It's a brotherhood. So regardless if you go to Barbados, you go to Holland, you go to any part,
yeah.
you would put us on to one of your colleagues. Despite I may not know anyone in Holland, I may hit up Francesco. I'm heading to Holland.
Yeah.
You have any guys there? And I'm definitely sure they're gonna. Hey, cool. That's Francesco's guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hook him up.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
sure.
Fresco.
That's how we live.
It's a pleasure being here, bro.
Thank you guys.
Cheers,
boys.
Mama.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us. Or
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Hear me?
Without you, it wouldn't have been possible for us being
For
here.
sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Chatter, shout
Fabian.
out to Fabian.
Yeah.
Fabian,
Oh,
it's crazy.
Chenta. You know what I mean?
Team behind the cameras. as
Yeah,
well.
man. The team behind the cameras and everybody that, had a part to do with our being here in Curacao, as well as, the new friends that we've met.
Yes.
And friends to come.
For sure, for sure.
To life,
Thank
to
you,
you.
boys.
Cheers.
Change
Cheers.
the world one drink at a time.
Cheers.
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 Salud.
Salud. So remember, guys, I'm closing it out. Remember, Bebe Kumi no si mi. That means drink with me, not without me. And we'll see you guys next time. Deuces.
Yes, sir.
Sydney, Sydney!